Every year, millions of migratory birds cross oceans, deserts, and borders, from European woodlands to the African savanna. These birds follow ancient flight paths, but for some, the journey ends in gunfire, in the deserts and wetlands of Egypt. Behind the sound of gunfire lies a story of corruption, greed, and betrayal, stretching from Malta to Cairo, from the halls of power in Brussels to the Nubian villages of Aswan. For 15 months, the New Arabs investigation team tracked the shadowy world of European hunters who descend on Egypt each winter. They kill not for food, but for trophies and taxidermy collections back home, while the European Union spends millions of euros to save these very same species. We went undercover in Fayoum, followed the smuggling routes from Egypt's lakes to Maltese homes, and saw how Europe's conservation efforts collapse when its citizens pull the trigger abroad. This is more than a story of poaching. It's about wasted conservation money, destroyed ecosystems, and a system that rewards hunters while silencing conservationists. I'm Mahmoud Subki, and this is part 2 of the Poachers Trail, an investigation by the New Arab and Bridges Investigations. Our investigation identified a trend of Maltese bird hunters, frustrated by local laws and traveling to Egypt, where the legal restrictions were fewer and enforcement less. It was then to Egypt, where we continued on the trail. We headed to Lake Nasser, located in the southern governorate of Aswan. Video evidence seen by the New Arab appeared to identify this lake as a prominent hunting destination for Maltese hunters. We met with Hussein Shalali, a Nubian activist who hails from the Nubian village of Gezirat Sohel and has been at the forefront of the struggle against poaching. He has witnessed and spoken out against the slaughter of rare birds by Maltese hunters and the discarding of their carcasses along heritage sites.
أنا كنت شغال في بحيرة النوبة بحيرة ناصر حاليا.
I worked at Lake Nasser and saw the Maltese hiring boats for extended trips, hunting rare birds and skinning them for their valuable feathers and hides, which can sell for thousands of dollars. They abandon carcasses along the shore, leaving a stench that disrupts the beauty of Nubian heritage sites.
بالنسبة للحضارة النوبية أو المكان النوبي يعني الموجود.
Conservationists as well have long struggled to curb illegal activities in the Lake Nasser area. Haitham Ibrahim, Conservation Director at Nature Conservation Egypt.
من ضمن المناطق زي ما قلنا بحيرة ناصر.
Even with the necessary permits and procedures, enforcement on the lake is nearly impossible due to its vast area. Hunting organisers have their own communication networks and know when to avoid patrols.
During our investigation, we have followed the digital footprints of the Maltese hunters to another Egyptian governorate, Fayoum, 100 kilometers southwest of Cairo. Posing as inquiring hunters, we contacted Ihab, a hunting trip organizer, and asked about hunting opportunities for a group of 6 Europeans.
We have private spots in Itza, Senoris, and Ipshawe.
Are they all migratory birds?
Yes, these things are very organized. It's not haphazard. We work with different nationalities, with hunters from Italy, Malta, all parts of the world. Don't you worry.
What about bird shots? Will we be able to bring it with us or get it into the country?
No, I will bring bird shots from here. You won't be able to bring it in.
Let's say I want 10,000 bird shots. Will you be able to secure?
20,000 or 50,000, as you like. No one will bother you. Everything is completely organized.
يعني مثلا لو عايز 10,000 خرطوش هتجيب لي 10,000 خرطوش.
Among the international actors who help enable illegal bird hunting in Egypt is Joseph Cooper. Joseph Cooper is a Maltese hunter who organizes hunting trips for his fellow Maltese hunters. During our investigation, we uncovered photos of Joseph and his Maltese clients hunting migratory birds in Egypt, like the turtle dove, northern lapwing, and the tern, all birds that are protected under EU and Egyptian law. We decided to confront Joseph. On a phone call, we asked why he kills birds.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Am I speaking with Joseph Cooper?
Yes, who is this?
Hi, my name is Andrea Iotti. I'm investigative editor at The New Arab, a London-based publication. I'm talking that we have a picture of yourself with the hunted bird that it's illegal to hunt that. Not only yourself, of course, there are other.
What is this bird illegal?
The turtle dove.
The turtle dove is illegal?
It's illegal in both Europe and in Egypt. That's why we're
In Egypt, illegal. In Egypt, are you crazy or what?
No, we're not crazy. We reviewed all the Egyptian laws, and we have Egyptian journalists who worked on this investigation. So there are specific species that you can hunt.
No, listen, sir. First, investigate them, not us. Because if you go there, if you tell us that hunting turtle doves, we hunt turtle doves. Egypt is in Europe.
No, but they have their own laws.
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, they're not in Europe, no.
They're not in Europe, so why they care?
They care because they have laws that hunting specific birds, including in Egypt, is not allowed.
And where are you from? You England?
We are based in London. Myself, I'm Italian.
Based? And where are you from, you?
I'm Italian. Sono italiano.
Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
It's better if you take care of your country than us.
It's better?
And you know that. And you know that. It's better to take care of your country than us. All of you, because you need to demand all the world. First, take care of your country first. Then take care of ours.
Yes.
We go there hunting. Everything by law. Everything by law. Everything.
No, I don't think it's everything by laws. We've been working on this for more than a year. There's plenty of violations being committed over there. Cartridges being supplied well below.
From the Maltese people?
Yes, especially from the Maltese hunters and locals also complaining about.
In which way? In which way we are violent? In which way?
There are people who also hunt Egyptian vultures. That's another species that is protected. Also money.
You are talking to me. You are talking to me. I don't give a fuck about other people.
Well, about yourself, right? I mentioned to you like what's the problem?
I go there as long as I'm able to go. As long as I'm able to go, because I'm not nothing illegal, nothing. Nothing illegal at all. I go for ducks. If I can go for ducks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me know.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good day. Bye.
The Maltese hunters appear to take great pleasure in the sport of hunting birds. And given the number of birds that are killed, one could probably argue that the more they kill, the greater their enjoyment. As proof of their kills, many of the hunters are after trophies, sometimes feathers, other times they want the whole bird to be stuffed. So, what role does Malta's taxidermy culture play in fueling the demand for those expensive endangered birds, including those hunted in Egypt? Anthropologist from the University of Malta, Mark Falzon.
By the sort of the 60s, I think, 60s, 70s, taxidermy in Malta had become a total craze. It is very, very hard to overemphasize how much of a craze it had become. It became a huge craze with devastating effects on conservation, because of course the rarer the bird, the more attractive the bird, and so on, the more prized it was as a taxidermy specimen. So this is the background to that bit of the hunting in Egypt. There is a trade going on, basically. It's not huge, but there is a trade going on. So these three reasons are why Maltese people, well, some Maltese hunters, I emphasize the some, choose to go to Egypt. The numbers of birds that can be shot, it's also, something that they do not get to experience in Malta. The second Egyptian case, the second reason is the diversity of species and the possibility to shoot at birds that are protected in Malta. And the third is the possibility, although there is a risk to that, of bringing over in some way or other smuggling bird skins, probably strapping them to your body and going through customs at the airport is not the, let's say, the most intelligent way of doing that. But that case really shows you how desperate some people get to smuggle birds back into Malta.
When visiting Malta in February 2024, local sources showed us over 15,000 bird specimens that had been confiscated over the last 20 years. These included both carcasses stored in freezers and taxidermized displays, of which 15 to 20% reportedly were of Egyptian origin. Despite counter-poaching efforts, taxidermy continues to be a safe repository for trophy hunting. Mark Sultana, CEO of BirdLife Malta.
Now the real problem is that in the past there were amnesties for people that owned birds that were protected in their possession. And this was before Malta became an EU member state. And once we became an EU member state, the laws were very more strict. So what they did is they gave amnesties to those that had broken the law previous to going into the EU. So it was kind of a bit of a preparation for the accession. The real problem was that these lists were never checked. So today you can have a hunter or a person that has a list of, let's say, 50 species, all protected birds. You cannot hunt them today. Some of them you cannot hunt anywhere in the world, including Egypt. And yet, because they were never checked, he can kill a bird today and put it in his possession and be excused.
To understand how these birds were transferred to Malta, we flew back to Egypt in March 2024. Hashim Morsi is an Egyptian bird watcher from Port Said, who has spent years documenting the toll of poaching along Egypt's coast and wetlands.
هي الحكاية بدأت في إبريل 2017. جات لي مكالمة تليفون من حد عارف إن أنا.
The story began in April 2017 when I received a phone call from a bird watcher. He told me that dead birds had appeared on the beach in Port Said. When I went to investigate, I was surprised to find dead birds wrapped in plastic with what I considered to be incomprehensible words written on them, like Marzu and Libra. We later understood that the writing was in Maltese. After further investigation, we learned that some bird hunters who come from Europe, specifically Maltese hunters, were reportedly hunting the birds to stuff and sell them abroad. The problem was the sheer quantity of birds that washed ashore. We're talking about 15 kilometers stretch along the Port Said coastline. The number of birds we found was not insignificant. A second issue was the species of the birds we found. When we analyzed the situation, what would cause the birds to wash ashore dead, wrapped up and without meat, the speculation was that these birds were being transported to Europe illegally, perhaps on the same boat used for legal immigration.
بتروح أوروبا بشكل غير شرعي. قد تكون بتروح في المراكب نفسها اللي بتطلع كهجرة غير شرعية وبيهربوا فيها نفس الطيور.
Among the birds were yellow-billed storks, raptors, white storks, Eurasian spoonbills, and greater flamingos, all protected species in Egypt.
We contacted the Ministry of Environment and Ashtum El Gamil Natural Reserve area and posted the pictures on my Facebook page. The Egyptian Bird Monitoring Association supported me, and BirdLife Malta responded, telling us that these acts were committed by Maltese hunters and asked us to prevent them from doing this in our country.
In 2020, German field ornithologist Jens Höring, along with other researchers, published a study highlighting the dire threats faced by migratory birds.
Poaching of yellow-billed storks and other water birds at Lake Nasser, especially by Maltese and local hunters, seems to be considerable.
Adding,
for example, a huge number of dead birds were found wrapped in plastic bags, washed ashore at Port Said on May 17, 2017. Most likely, these shot birds were contraband trophies on their way to Malta and were thrown overboard for unknown reasons.
To gain insight into smuggling operations, we called Mustafa, a young yet experienced hunting guide operating in Fayoum. Like the other hunting guides we spoke to, Mustafa offered us a near limitless supply of ammunition. He suggested we explore Aswan and also promoted the thrill of hunting near Abu Simbel with its more rugged environment.
طب في أسوان بنصطاد فين؟
So, where do we go hunting in Aswan?
We go to Abu Simbel.
On the lake, or where exactly?
No, not on the lake, in the mountains.
So we hunt migratory birds?
Yes, migratory birds. And you might even see a gazelle or two by the water. You can hunt that as well.
Can we take what we hunt with us when we leave?
Your stuff, it's yours. You take it wherever you want, no questions asked.
طيب حلو جميل جدا.
Armed with a hidden camera, we arranged a face-to-face meeting at a cafe on Lake Karun in Fayoum.
The Maltese like to put pretty-looking birds in display cases.
What's the problem?
Some of the birds they hunt are illegal.
Can we handle these illegal-to-hunt birds?
It's illegal to hunt flamingos. It's a passing bird.
You mean a migratory bird?
Yes, exactly. A migratory bird coming from abroad. The black birds you see over there are ducks. This is the end of the hunting season for ducks. The lake was full of ducks in season.
Can we bring Maltese people who want to hunt these birds and stuff them?
No problem.
What should we do with them if they want to take the birds back with them?
We need to stuff these hunted birds if they want to take them back. After we stuff them, we send them to Malta on any ship.
Do you know people who can help in this regard?
Yes, I do.
Adel, a boatman on Lake Nasser, has spent years navigating its vast waters. From his vantage point, he witnessed firsthand how Maltese hunters turned the lake into a killing field. His testimony sheds light on the roads the hunters take to smuggle the hunted birds out of Egypt and back to their homes in Malta.
When airport security is tight, the smugglers use boats departing from Shatta, near Port Said and Damietta. They throw them into the water off the coast of Italy or Malta, and other boats come and pick them up by arrangement.
On December 2nd, 2024, hunt organizer Mustafa posted on Facebook a set of photos of himself posing alongside a Maltese hunter in Fayoum, while holding carcasses of glossy ibises, birds of prey, and other species that are illegal to hunt in Egypt. The images were swiftly deleted just minutes after being uploaded. We contacted Malta's Wild Birds Regulation Unit, the government entity responsible for confiscations, but they were unable to provide us with updated data on birds trafficked from Egypt. We also sought to obtain trafficking data from the Egyptian Customs Authority and the local branch of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora in Egypt and Malta, but there was no response from them. We contacted St. Hubert's Hunters, or KSU, a Maltese hunters organization reportedly promoting a strict code of conduct, and inquired about Maltese hunting activities in Egypt. KSU President Mark Mifsud replied in writing,
"We abhor the killing of protected birds wherever that occurs and whoever commits such crime. Malta has strict laws to penalise such crimes, unlike countries like Egypt, where massacres are the rule."
Unlike Maltese hunters, who have the funds to pay thousands of euros for each hunting trip. The Egyptian hunter's livelihood often depends on migratory birds like quails, which are then sold in local markets. Khalid al-Nobi, Executive Director of Nature Conservation Egypt.
أولاً تقييم الوضع الصيد الغير قانوني على سواحل البحر المتوسط من قبل.
Based on our research and repeated visits to several Egyptian villages during bird hunting seasons, we've concluded that Egyptian hunters on the Mediterranean coast are extremely wasteful. There are many reasons for this, but poverty is the main one. The residents of these poor villages often overhunt and catch these birds as they are a source of income or protein. The excessive scale of hunting, combined with weak oversight, has a significant impact on the migration season. While we acknowledge that hunting is a source of income for many families, we believe that the services these birds provide while alive are more valuable than those they offer as a meal. We've also noticed that poverty isn't the only reason for hunting. Some villagers aren't poor, and they hunt for sport during migration season as part of their customs and traditions. They gather the birds caught in their nets, then cook or grill them. The young people in these villages enjoy spending time together over these hearty meals.
ويقضوا الرجالة أو الشباب وقت لطيف في الصحراء وهم بياكلوا الوجبة الدسمة دي.
The recent hunting ban in Lake Nasser, enacted in September 2023, has helped the local bird population. With the hunters no longer visiting, they can begin to thrive again. But the local community was built around the hunters. Serving as a guide, boatman, or driver, hunting was an essential income. So, who is responsible for providing alternative employment to these people? We traveled to Lake Nasser and met with Yusuf, a seasoned local guide and boat owner, who described the ban's far-reaching impact.
شيء أساسي هو أثر عليا وأثر على ناس تانية بتاكل عيش.
It hasn't just affected me. Many families that rely on this boat are struggling. From the grocer to the barber, everyone benefits when tourists come. They spend money here, and it keeps the community going. They've gone to places like Fayoum, Minya, and Beni Suef, anywhere there's water. But I don't have the means to follow them or relocate my business.
مع حب لمصر واحنا عطيناها له مره واثنين وثلاثه في الرحله فهيدوق المزاج بتاعها ويبدا عايز كميات منها وهو ماشي.
خالد النوبي.
Maltese hunters are among the worst offenders in illegal hunting in Europe. Many of those who come to Egypt have already had their licenses revoked in Malta. Building your business around the worst clients and then lamenting the restrictions is a flawed model.
Anja Haskamp is a member of the European Parliament with the Dutch Party for the Animals. She has been a vocal critic of the EU hypocrisy, funding conservation projects, while turning a blind eye to the European hunters killing protected species abroad.
The fact is that not the whole local community earns money by this situation. It's only a few people that really benefit from illegal trade in animals. And they are not the local communities that we want to help. If we want to invest in local communities, there are other ways than killing their wildlife.
In places like Lake Nasser and in many other locations in Egypt, birds are one part of a complex ecosystem. Take away one part and the impact can ripple through all other parts, causing numerous unforeseen problems. What is the damage being inflicted on Egypt's delicate ecosystems when migratory birds are slaughtered in such large numbers? Amr Hadi, the founder of Subic Planet for Ecotourism and Training, is a passionate conservationist who operates in Lake Nasser. He envisions a future where ecotourism and bird watching replaces hunting as a sustainable source of income.
The problem isn't just the number of birds they kill, it's what they're killing. I've seen hunters bragging about their Egyptian vulture kills. It's not about food, it's about ego. Some issues are just too big for one organization to handle. This needs civil society's cooperation. We may not notice the impact today, But removing even one species can disrupt the entire ecosystem.
ده حاجة يعني لا هتتاكل ولا بتاع هو الموضوع فيه فشخرة أو تفاخر ما بينهم إن هو اصطاد لسه مصري دي حاجة طبعا مش كويسة.
Haytham Ibrahim, Conservation Director at Nature Conservation Egypt.
الطيور يعني رسل عبر الحدود.
Birds are transboundary messengers. They have somewhat fixed routes that take them from their breeding grounds along migratory paths all the way to their wintering areas. Bird migration is one of the major global events of great importance, and therefore, it must be preserved as a world heritage.
In February 2024, in the soft light of early morning, we sat on a modest sun-worn boat drifting across the Nile in Aswan, where Munir, a fisherman turned conservationist, now leads bird-watching trips.
The Maltese hunters are a different story. At first, they would hunt just a few birds here and there, but then it became relentless. They'd kill everything in sight: geese, migratory birds, even donkeys. Winter brought the birds and the hunters alike, but it was only a matter of time before the birds were driven away by endless rounds of gunfire.
During this period of rampant hunting, Munir crossed paths with Amr Hadi, the founder of Sobek Planet. Hadi shared with him his vision of Lake Nasser as an ecotourism destination rather than a hunting ground. It was a vision that captivated Munir. For Munir, transforming the lake from a hunting ground into a sanctuary for bird watching wasn't simply a business decision. It was a return to his roots.
With bird watching, the birds stay. One group leaves, and the next day, another can enjoy the same sights. I've loved birds since I was a boy. My mother, God rest her soul, encouraged me to care for them. I even raised falcons, training them to return to me.
The EU funds conservation. Between 1996 and 2025, 36 million euros has gone into protecting the Egyptian vulture, the northern lapwing, ospreys, lanner falcon, and the European turtle dove, among other migratory birds. But Maltese nationals, EU citizens, are breaking those very protections overseas. Mark Sultana, again.
It does not make sense that in Europe we're trying to safeguard the bird and then we allow Europeans to go to Egypt and hunt those birds. So as much as in Egypt it's not illegal possibly to kill a turtle dove, I think it should be a law that no European should be allowed to go to African countries and other countries which allow it legally there, but to actually go and hunt birds which are protected in Europe.
Safeguarding Europe's migratory birds comes at a steep cost. Turtle doves, for example, are globally classified as a vulnerable species and protected under the LIFE program, the European Union's funding instrument for the environment and climate action, established to support projects that contribute to environmental protection and nature conservation. These birds have also been illegal to hunt for tourists in Egypt since 2022, but turtle doves are among the favorite prey of Maltese hunters. There are 8,041 registered hunters in Malta. Under Maltese laws, these hunters would collectively be permitted to hunt and kill 1,500 turtle doves per year. And yet, a hunting party of as few as 10 people could kill that many on a single trip to Egypt. We analyzed dozens of videos that reveal the scope of the slaughter. In this video, published on Facebook in December 2019, a local hunting guide brags that his party had killed 780 turtle doves in a single day. We killed 510, in just 90 minutes. He tells the camera.
680 اليوم 9/12/2019.
Other videos and pictures suggest that hunters are able to kill between 450 and 1,500 birds in a single day or trip. Anya Haskamp.
We spend a lot of efforts. Volunteers are working continuously to save and protect the habitats for these animals. They work with farmers. They get European funds, but also local and regional funds to protect these birds. And it is very hard to see that they are shot illegally in Malta or Cyprus or in Egypt, for that matter. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of efforts of all these people that try to save this beautiful bird.
The EU also allocated funds for the protection of other endangered species hunted by the Maltese, including the Egyptian vulture, ospreys, Leonard falcon, European turtle dove, and northern lapwing. Our analysis of these funds for these bird species in the different EU countries through the EU LIFE program showed that 36,451,669 euros were spent on conservation and restoration projects that target all 5 birds, among others. In light of the current violations, what is the future of international conservation? To start with, Anya Haskamp wants to see those that hunt birds excluded from conservation efforts.
No, people that use guns to kill other creatures should not be involved in protecting these creatures. Animals are sentient beings. They should be respected at all times. We have legislation in place that should be respected. These hunters, they don't care about these birds, otherwise they would not shoot them. And I don't think they should be involved in the process of how to stop the illegal hunting by hunters. No.
And Khalid al-Nubi from Nature Conservation Egypt.
The Maltese have their rituals that revolve around overhunting, shooting in every direction. It's tied to their heritage. Bridging this mindset with conservation goals is no easy task. However, it might be possible to bring Maltese bird photographers, not hunters, to go on ecotourism trips to Lake Nasser.
Although there are those who argue that efforts need to be made with the hunters. Conservation breeding manager Bertie Ferns.
To stop the Maltese hunters going abroad, you need to have a much more collaborative, much more inclusive approach to conservation. It can't be seen as a us versus them, sort of hunters are the enemies and conservationists are the heroes. You'll get nowhere like this. So I think hunters need to be included into conservation.
And researcher and anthropologist Brian Campbell.
You can't negotiate with somebody whose ultimate goal is to stop hunting, right? They're going to come for you anyway. So you have that happening. You also start having this really difficult language where hunters are seen as barbarians and uncivilized beings and having no values, etc.
There are conservationists who want to work with the hunters. Work with them to change their attitudes. They believe the hunters can learn to respect the environment, protect the birds that live in ecosystems and hunt in a responsible fashion. A first step would be closing down the loopholes. Egyptian bird watcher Hashim Morsi.
الاتحاد الأوروبي المفروض يعمل إيه مع مالطا؟ أعتقد إن
There are significant loopholes and exploitation of the law. It is true that the EU might find it difficult to act because the Maltese hunters arrive from Malta with a permit. Their paperwork is in order and they have their weapons with them, stating they are coming to hunt specific types of ducks and birds in certain numbers. The fact that they do not adhere to this or find people to assist them illegally complicates the issue. This makes it challenging to prove that the initial legal premise was a facade for illegal activities.
Mark Sultana.
We need to work to make Egypt understand, like the Central African and East Africa did with Kenya and in these places where they realize that nature is actually a source of attracting ecotourism. I'd be the first one to go and enjoy Egypt the moment I know that there's no hunting.
Efforts to address the poaching and smuggling of migratory birds by Maltese hunters across North Africa and Europe face challenges on multiple fronts. While the EU invests tens of millions of euros into conserving these species, their efforts are undermined by European hunters exploiting poor law enforcement in non-EU countries like Egypt. Birds are a crucial global component whose migratory patterns connect all ecosystems. We protect them because they serve this vital linking role, transporting elements and nutrients between continents. They are also a key indicator that we are on the right track. The sustainability of these ecosystems supports human life. If birds are destroyed or negatively impacted, research shows that many other environments and their functions will be affected. If we permit unregulated hunting, and if we continue to issue hunting regulations that are not based on objective scientific research, we aren't just losing species. We are also losing the very fabric that connects and stitches all these ecosystems together. The environmental toll is massive. Migratory birds pollinate, disperse seeds, and control pests. Lose them, and ecosystems unravel. With the publication of this investigation by the New Arab and Bridges Investigations, we have seen some positive steps forward. Because of this investigation, in September 2025, the Egyptian Ministry of Environment signed Ministerial Decree number 242, with added protections in the new Valley Governorate for the 2025-26 season, and removed the references to the New Valley as a region where touristic bird hunting is allowed. But the challenge is enforcement. Now that the laws have been amended and protections are officially recognized, the work of protecting migratory and resident birds in Egypt's fragile ecosystems from cross-border networks is just beginning. We need laws that follow hunters across borders and funding that empowers local alternatives, ecotourism, and bird watching. Back in Fayoum, the lake is quiet now. A few feathers float in the reeds, but spring will come again, and the hunters will return. The Poachers Trail was an investigation by the New Arab and Bridges Investigations with the support of Journalism Fund Europe. It was written and hosted by me, Mahmoud Suki, with additional help from Wael Sair. Andrea Yuti is the New Arab's investigative editor. This podcast was produced by Hugo Godrich. Don't forget to follow the New Arab on Facebook, X, and Instagram for all the latest news, analysis, and opinion from the region.